It is now. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, these songwriters will sing for you and me. Each one of our singer-songwriters today is part of the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. And we're so glad to be sharing that all with you who are watching tonight. It's an opportunity to see the best of the best all at the same time. We want everybody out there in YouTube land to know that we are all looking forward to sharing the songs with everyone out there as well as with each other. And we look forward to learning a bit more about each performer and their songwriting process through a short interview. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Today's lineup is on our YouTube video at the bottom in the info. It's also on the website, openmicamerica.com, so you can see that. We are going to be here for a couple hours, give or take, tonight, and I'd like to start introducing everyone. First of all, our team. Our team tonight is Capo Dave Williams, who is our founder, and he will also be interviewing everybody. Hey, Dave. And the other person on the team is yours truly, Daphne Ramil, and I will be your MC, as well as the switchboard operator. Let's see how that goes. A little bit of multitasking today. I have no hat today, but I have to wear two hats, and that's kind of a funny thing. And next, let me introduce all of our performers in order of their performance, and each one will wave. We have Becky Lloyd DesRoches from Lexington, Massachusetts. We have Mick Schaefer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Deb Wesloh from Alamo, Texas. Deb Seymour from Seattle, Washington. Ronnie Stolzberg from Warwick, Rhode Island. Neil Dale from Bedford, Massachusetts. Suzan Paulette from Guanajuato, Mexico. I think I said that right. I was almost. Well, you can correct me when it's your turn. And Autumn Sky Hall from Sacramento, California, which, by the way, is where I'm from, but I'm not there now. And now, without further ado, I would like to get Becky Lloyd DesRoches on the stage. So here we are. Let me spotlight you, Becky. Take it away.
Excellent. What a pleasure to be here, and what a great organization you guys run. This first song, when I met Dave back in September, he noted that I was performing in front of a kayak, so I figured I better do a song about some of the extreme things I like. So this song is called Extreme. All right. I don't know what inner drive brought me here today. I'm looking out the plane, the ground is 1,000 feet away. I'm gonna jump, gonna fly, gonna fall into the arms of the wind. Soon I'll be back on the ground, looking up at the sky, wishing I could do it over again. You can always find me out here in the extreme, 'cause I can't stand living if I'm living in between. My breakdown turned to breakthrough. I was unconscious, then I came to. These revelations always seem to take me by surprise, but I go for so long without opening my eyes. And you can always find me out here in the extreme, 'cause I can't stand living if I'm living in between. And I don't know just why I go very fast from high to low, back again and upwards, and just wave as I go round again. And you can always find me out here in the extreme, 'cause I can't stand living if I'm living in between. I don't know what inner drive brought me here today.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
What a wonderful way to start our show.
Thank you, thank you. All right. A lot of songs popped in my head to play this week, but as we approach the holidays, I was thinking a lot about how we really need to show up for each other in a way of really listening to the people we gather with. And this is a song I wrote a long time ago, but it just kept burbling up. It's called Words, and I'll just play it. She started yelling and he grit his teeth, and they both said things they didn't really mean. He said, I love you, but she said, I hate you. They both meant something somewhere in between. If a word were a scar, were an imprint, were a gouge or a painting on the wall, if a word were a cloud that could hang forever, would you dare to speak at all? He said, I'm sorry. She said, I know you are, but your words cut deep into my skin. She said, I'm breaking. He said, I'll fix you, but neither knew where they would begin. If a word were a scar, were an imprint, were a gouge or a painting on the wall, if a word were a cloud that could hang forever, would you dare to speak at all? No easy way out now, no easy way in. Are they fighting a battle no one can win? What is it worth, how hard they try? Can love's pain fade as time goes by? If a word were a tool like a paintbrush, a splash of color where there was white, picking and choosing the words we are using, can we make it come out right? Make it come out all right.
That was absolutely stunning, and wow, that communication
It's beautiful.
really
That was
touched me very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
good.
you. I forgot I don't have a low D on this keyboard. So
Oh,
it's kind of funny.
You put so much poetry into that real life scenario. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's funny, if I had to write it again, I would probably make it a little less binary he, she, but I wrote the song decades ago and it still rings true.
Becky, two lovely songs. Beautiful songs. Wow.
Thank you, Dave.
What, is my sound too loud?
No,
It's okay.
you're
Sounds
fine.
good. Sounds
You're
good.
fine.
I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to, we sort of hit it off on that outdoor stuff and everything, and I'd like to explore a little bit of that with you. Would you like to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you do out, on the wild side there?
Sure, sure. It's funny. It's always such a great metaphor for songs. I had the great privilege of hiking up Knife's Edge to Katahdin this summer. An incredible hike, and lots of songs were hitting through my head as I did that, but it's such a metaphor for life of when you're in the outdoors doing something a little bit challenging, a little bit scary, but you're doing it with wonderful people. And so I do like to find myself in those kinds of challenging situations. Although looking down, the 2,000-foot drop at Knife's Edge, you're like, okay, mindfulness is very important for each step right now.
Paint us a picture of the hairiest situation you've ever been in.
Oh, the hairiest situation I've ever been in. There are a couple places. I'm very fortunate to get to hike up in the White Mountains a lot. And I will say, when I first started really becoming a solo hiker, I was often very mindful of, where I was, because, if anything can happen if your foot slips or something. And there's a chimney there in between the two Osceolas. And as I was kind of going up there, so I was like, what am I doing here?
I've been up a chimney. Yeah, I know.
Yep. Yeah.
So pretty intense, and you get up there, and your arms are shaking a little bit, and you're looking around, and you're asking yourself that question: what am I doing here?
Yeah, and I think, there are those of us who just, I've been on lots of different ropes courses and things like that. And so I'll do the first layer with a group of people, and then people will peel off and we'll do the second highest layer. And then when I found myself sort of all alone on the top layer, I sort of looked around and I marveled that it wasn't just that I wasn't scared. It was that I just loved being up high. When you're, belayed in, it's just that it's exhilarating of, okay, even if I slip here, it's fine. So
it really is. That's why they built all those temples, pyramids, ziggurats. It's the people who got to go up high. They were, closest to the gods, I guess.
Yeah. So the opposite of the fear of heights.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that with us. We didn't do much music stuff this time. We'll catch up. But I wanted to talk about that with you. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Well, thanks for probing. It all feeds into the poetry and the music that we create. So I'm glad you asked.
It really does. Back to you, Daphne.
Yes, thank you for that, Becky, and thank you for asking those really interesting questions, Dave. And now we're going to get Mick Schaefer on the stage. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he likes to play at Artichoke in Portland. Go figure. So take it away, Mick.
Hey, Daphne, thanks so much. You're working hard tonight, and I really appreciate it. You're making a lot happen with your effort. Thank you. One of the things about tonight that's striking and I'm really enjoying is to see so many women performers on the show tonight. It seems like in the past there's been mostly guys, sprinkled in a couple women here and there. So it's nice to see the full force, tonight. And I was trying to think of what song to do, and then it occurred to me, well, what can I do to represent, this? And there's about 3 or 4 songs that are going back and forth through my head. But I think the one I'm going to do is there was a woman that I was dating for a short time that really, really inspired me. She had gotten out of a really scary relationship, and she went back to acting, and she did it at a very high level. And and so this is what that song's about. That's what I'm going to do. It's called "She Woke Up Just in Time." She woke up just in time to get away. She woke up just in time to get away. From the unfair fight. Her man say, you gotta stay home. Her man say, you got to stay home. Don't you mess around with my comfort zone. She say, you got to get out. I got my casting call. She's got to get out. I got my casting call. Don't shrink me down so damn small. Shooby-dooby-doo-ah, shooby-dooby-doo-ah, shooby-dooby-doo-ah. Then she say, I don't care, go get the knife. She say, I don't care, go get the knife. Can't kill me any more than I've already died. She woke up just in time to get away. She woke up just in time to get away. From the unfair fight. Shooby-dooby-doo-ah, shooby-dooby-doo-ah, shooby-dooby-doo-ah. Ladies,
That was fun.
yeah, that was a lady that inspired me.
I'm so happy to hear you were inspired by others right here. That's great.
Thank you. Okay, well, the other song I want to do for you is one that I did the first time I ever performed it in front of anybody was this show, whatever the first one was that I got to be on. And since the time that was tried out on you guys, that song has gone out to a lot of radio stations, and it's starting to chart on the blues chart. So, that's pretty exciting. That's never happened to me before. So, okay, maybe it's going to be blues music that turns out to be the big driver, and excitement for me more than anything. So anyway, I'm going to do that song for you again, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of a guitar solo on it that I didn't do before, because sometimes I don't have the guitar player with me, and it'd be nice to put something in there. So I'm going to see how far I can get on that. And there's an added line to the song that I didn't have before that a couple of people collaborated on to suggest to me, and it really, really lifted the song even a little bit more, I think. So I'll tell you later what that is. You'll probably notice it. No, you won't. I'll tell you later. Okay, here it goes. This is the song, Over in the Corner. Okay, here we go. Daddy hooked on women, Mama hooked on gin. Daddy hooked on women, yeah, Mama hooked on gin. I'm over in the corner, watching everything. Mama loves the house, Daddy loves that car. Mama loved the house, yeah, Daddy loved the car. Well, I'm over in the corner, wishing I could be the star. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Daddy cannot feel, Mama feels too much. Daddy can't feel, and Mama feels too much. Yes, I'm over in the corner, too hard to touch. Daddy hooked on women, Mama hooked on gin. Daddy hooked on women, yeah, Mama hooked on gin. Well, I'm over in the corner, well, I'm learning how to sin. Yeah, I'm over in the corner, yeah, I'm watching everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo, whoa, whoa, whoa. Woo, whoa, 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 wah, 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 wah.
Great groove, man. The riff is going to be stuck in my head.
Oh, man.
Very good.
Yeah. I just went through the whole thing with my brother because he was talking to me about he thought something else should be in the song, and then I had that somebody sent me like a little piece that they wanted to show me they thought might sound good, and then the guy that sent it back to me, just for grins, he just threw this one little line in there at one point, and I went, oh my God, that's going in the song. And then later when I put it in, I was interviewed in this other interview, and the person was asking me the story, and I really just was so thrilled to tell them J.T. Thomas, had sent me a little piece back, and he had put this song in there, and it was perfect. And then my brother, he gets credit too, because he was the one that told me it still needed something. So when the person offered the something, I was ready for it. So that was a teamwork thing, a brother and music friend that added the line, over in the corner, he's learning how to sin. That's a strong line, right? I mean, geez, that just tied the whole song together pretty much. I'm like, damn, all right, I'm going to definitely put that in there. So
It works.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It works for me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Love your blues, Mick. Love it.
Oh,
Love
thank you. Thank you, Dave. It's nice to see you again.
I'm so glad you brought that song back. That is such a cool song.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, I tried it out on you guys, and you guys you get the great reaction you gave to me about that song. I think encouraged me to keep going on. Thank you.
Has a classic feel to it.
Well, you might start hearing it on the radio. It's actually playing on radio stations already, not in every single city.
I think it ought to be on some radio station. Maybe they ought to listen to us.
They should, yeah, and
where they'll hear the real stuff. So I want to probe a little bit. I don't know if Pete ever asked you. I wanted to ask you about your early, did you have family members that played music, or was there, were there people you were around when you were young that that played music and influenced you? How
Oh, yeah.
how did that go for you?
You know, my mom was a huge influence. I mean, she was a bigger than life person. She was like an actress. You know, she never was able to like fully become an actress because, you know, back in those days, you know, people, when women got married, they wouldn't keep their careers going. You know, unfortunately.
Sure.
But she would love to play the piano, and she'd play Chopin, which was really nice. But then she'd play boogie woogie. You know, and
So
when
you
she
were a
started
little
playing,
kid listening to this.
oh my God, she started playing boogie woogie. There was a life inside the house. Like, where did that come from? You know,
How old would you have been at this time that you've got these impressions first?
Oh, that would have been 0 to 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was the first instrument you picked up?
Well, the first instrument I picked up was my voice. That's the
You were
first instrument I
singing
picked
with
up.
your
Yeah.
mom and.
I'd mess around her, but I didn't really hear the voice, or didn't really feel the voice. I think that's even more a bigger, better way to put it. I didn't feel the real. I don't even know what word to put on, because any word I put makes it seem smaller than it was. When I sang in the choir at the 7th grade, Our Lady of the Valley Church Choir, we started singing whatever it was, Adeste Fidelis or something. I don't know what it was, but one of the songs, all of a sudden, I felt like I had been taken over by some kind of a spirit, you know. Something happened to me. And the singing that started happening from that kind of a thing, that presence or whatever that was, I could never get that out of my mind. That was something bigger than I'd ever experienced before, and it was like dwarfing anything else I had experienced so far.
You were hooked.
I definitely was. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys are all singers. You know exactly. I'm preaching to the choir right now.
Yeah, that's right. Well, after you were hooked, what was your next instrument after your voice?
It was a guitar. You know, guitars are fantastic. Guitars are everywhere.
So you would have been how old?
Oh, I think I was probably, we moved when I was like 13 into this other neighborhood, and this guy, Mark Chandler, was in the neighborhood, and he had a guitar, and when I saw it, I think it had to do with him, or no, it could have been Michael Van Oslo, my best friend growing up, even before that in Canoga Park. Michael had a guitar. That was the first guitar I ever touched. I'd picked up his guitar a few times, and I don't know where it was after that I got my own, but it wasn't long after Michael Van Oslo. You're the first person that asked me that question, that I had that memory, so thank you, Dave. I forgot about Michael.
Well, you know, we're all in it together, and we all have these stories, and that's one of the things about this show, is it's not just about playing music, but it's about sharing our stories, the things that make us a nation, an invisible nation, really.
Yeah, what connects? What actually connects?
Yeah. Okay, well, look forward to seeing you next time, Mick. Take care.
Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate being asked. Thank you.
Daphne, back to you. Oh, and Daphne, by the way, I noticed we have matching shirts tonight.
Oh, that's complete. Maybe because we're both in the same town tonight.
Well, yeah, see, I have to say, I'm in Portland, of course, is where I live, and that's the Columbia River in back of me right there.
It's beautiful.
And Daphne joyfully joined me for a couple of days. She's up here visiting with her son and daughter-in-law and son's mother-in-law, and they had a big time and everything. And we spent time together and pigged out on some great Thai food. And so now, by coincidence, we both have purple shirts.
I know, but in different houses. And I'd like to announce that we do have Barrie Dempsey in the house, who was supposed to be our closing act, but she seems to be having a lot of technical trouble. So for all of you out in YouTube land, if you see some funny stuff on the screen, that's just Barrie trying to get her Zoom stuff together, and we're going to cross our fingers for her. She has a while yet to do it. So, thank you, Mick. And now let's get Deb Wesloh on the stage. Deb from Texas. Here we go. Gonna spotlight you, Deb. You're on the stage, and I just wanted to mention that Deb told us that she likes the Couth Buzzard Bookstore and Cafe, where they're allowed. No, that's Deb. Yeah. That is the other Deb. There's two Debs, so of course I get confused. Deb will play in Alamo, Texas, right? You played there once and it was very exciting.
Just played at the Alamo, yes.
At the Alamo in Texas, and it was very exciting. I'm sorry, Deb. But now she's here with us and she's on our stage, so take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back. This is such a great opportunity to share songs throughout the United States, and I guess we had a few people from outside of the United States. I think we had somebody from Canada last week. The first song I'm going to play today is called "Tell Me a Story, Grandpa." I wrote this last summer for my father-in-law's 90th birthday party. It's from the perspective of my oldest son, Chris, who used to spend a lot of time with my with his grandparents growing up. So, go ahead and play it. Growing up, my favorite place to be was sitting upon my grandpa's knee. Went on adventures with only his words, intrigued with everything I heard. Stories of winter on the farm, his 7 siblings sharing beds to stay warm. So fascinated with life back then, asking for stories again and again. Used to always say, tell me a story, Grandpa, about the good old days. Tell me a story, Grandpa, from long ago and far away. He joined the army in 1948, went to Camp Rucker on a train. Such vivid details he would share, felt like I was right there. Loved to hear about the cars he owned and how he called on his first phone. Learning about his profession made quite an impression. Used to always say, tell me a story, Grandpa, about the good old days. Tell me a story, Grandpa, from long ago and far away. Tell me how he met his beautiful bride. My grandma's always by his side. 3 kids and 5 grandkids later, I've never seen a love greater. He built a cabin on Long Lost Lake, log by log, a huge job to undertake. Hunting and fishing tales he told, but the cabin never got old. As he celebrates his 90th year, I want to thank him for the times out dear, and for the stories he told me as I once sat upon his knee. Used to always say, tell me a story, Grandpa, about the good old days. Tell me a story, Grandpa, from long ago and far away.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Bravo, that was so sweet, Deborah. So
Very
sweet.
You're making me miss my grandpa really bad right now, but that's good.
It's a good sign.
Thanks.
Take your second song, Deb. We're ready to hear your second song.
All right. The second song I'm going to play is called Broken Battle Buddies. Along with Grover Dunfield, who's been on the show a couple times, are part of an organization called Soldier Songs and Voices. A bunch of military personnel that get together and write songs. And that's where I've kind of got my start. It's a great organization. It's some great people, some very, very talented people as well. So I wrote this song called Broken Battle Buddies. It kind of talks about, well, it's kind of our story. So let me share this. We all have different struggles, similar yet unique troubles. We all were in the military, and music is our sanctuary. Some of us are broken apart. Some just need peace to restart. Some are traumatized from conflict, and some are overcome by the pain of it. We're broken battle buddies, sharing songs of empathy. We're broken battle buddies, singing our songs. Music makes us right and helps us to survive. Now we feel a camaraderie, and through these melodies we heal. We're broken battle buddies, the voices we speak. We're broken battle buddies, singing our songs. Sitting around the room or singing through Zoom. Through our songs we move on, giving us this bond. We weave tales of joy and sorrow that gives us hope for tomorrow. Music breathes rhythm into our hearts, giving our life a jump start. We're broken battle buddies, sharing stories is therapy. We're broken battle buddies, singing our songs. We're broken battle buddies, making fun memories. We're broken battle buddies, singing our songs, singing our songs, singing our songs.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah. Thank you, Deborah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Deborah, for two lovely songs. The Soldiers, Songs, and Stories, that's a great organization. And I wonder if you'd like to talk about that a little bit so that some people could get an idea of what it is. I have a pretty kind of a vague idea. I know you guys, just support one another and all that stuff, but talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I sure can. It's Soldier Songs and Voices. So in 2019, early 2019, I heard about this organization. It was in San Antonio. We were actually in person back in those days. And I met up with these individuals in downtown San Antonio. And we, basically were put together songs. We'd get together and come up with ideas for songs and put songs together. And then I had the opportunity to attend the retreat, Reveille Retreat, in Hallettsville, Texas, later that year. And I just met up with some really incredible songwriters, and just was totally blown away by what we could accomplish, what we accomplished. I wrote my first song, which I'll have to play maybe next time, with a really talented individual called Mary. Her name was Mary Bragg, very talented. And so then just kind of got involved with it, and then COVID hit, and all of a sudden we're all online, but it was kind of cool because we were able to meet up with people from all over. So I have a Portland group. There's a Portland chapter. There's chapters all over the United States, but there's one in one in Portland, the chapter there. There's one in Arkansas. There's, of course, San Antonio. There's San Marcos in Texas. Yeah. And then there's a couple out there. So yeah, we're all over. And it's just, we meet up once or twice, every week, some places, and some places maybe once a month, and share songs and kind of critique each other in that sense too, And I think it would sound a little better if we did this way, or so.
Great organization. Organization. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Thanks.
Lifesaver for me.
Take care now. Thanks again for 2 wonderful songs.
Thanks.
Yes, Deb, we're so glad that you came back to us. And now, let me see, we are going to hear from our next performer. We are going to get the other Deb on the stage, and this is Deb Seymour. And let me spotlight Deb Seymour, get her on the stage, and there she is, I found her. And Deb is the one who said she likes to play at this place that has a very strange name, the Couth Buzzard Bookstore and Cafe. And there's only 12 people allowed to play there in person at this time. But in addition to that, she streams on her own every Sunday. So I'm glad you're here with us right now. Did you just stream earlier today? Yes?
Yes, I did. Brunch with Deb at noon, 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is, of course, exactly the same time that there's another person here live streaming. East Coast is like, no, it actually is an hour ahead. But yes, I do Brunch with Deb at Simulcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. And I also do a variety of other live streams all over the place on Tuesdays on Twitch and Saturdays on Twitch. And I've just started streaming on Sessions Live. And I'm trying to work my way up to be able to stream on TikTok.
So, okay, and now you're streaming on Open Mic.
I'm streaming on here, and we're on YouTube land, yeah.
You are.
So anyway, thanks so much for inviting me, Open Mic America, and for all your hard work putting this together. I'd like to sing you a little song about growing older and just learning to let it all go. I'm sitting in the bathroom as hard as strong and be, stirring bonny powders into my herbal tea. This night will be a long one, at least it will for me, for I'm prepping and preparing for that word that starts with C. Oh, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, a modern rite of passage that's finally come to pass. So, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, all that I can say is it's a pain, and they'll lay me on a table and put me in a gown and feed me funny drugs for to divest me of my frown. And when the doc comes in, she will smile and say to me, bottoms up, my dear, this first round is on me. Oh, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, a modern rite of passage that's finally come to pass. Oh, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, all that I can say is it's a pain in the Oh, Lord, hear my prayer. Make my insides perfect and my insides clear. No polyps to be seen, no misdividing cells to fear. Oh Lord, if you get me through this upside down exam, I promise I will never again eat red meat, drink, smoke, or swear, or eat sugar, or chew gum. I'll adopt stray puppies and kittens, and even give up chocolate. Oh, come on, you guys aren't gonna really let me give up chocolate, are ya? Colonoscopy, colonoscopy, a modern rite of passage that's finally come to pass. So, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, all that I can say is it's a whoa. Colonoscopy, colonoscopy, a modern rite of passage that's finally come to pass. So, colonoscopy, colonoscopy, all that I can say is it's a big pain in the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a first for Open Mic America.
Worthy of Tom Lehrer.
Wonderful.
Someone had to write it, someone had to, and I suppose you might say that's a true story. But it all came out all right. Oh, God. Anyway, thank you so much. Now from the ridiculous to the sublime, here's a song that should be a true story, especially if you're older and trying to date, you know, all this Match.com and Cupid and OkCupid, or not OkCupid as some of my friends have called it. Well, when those things give up, it's time to try this dating service. The feline dating service. Excuse me. I'll make one little tiny adjustment there. Asleep in the window, soaking up the sunlight. The weight of the world seems to pass you by. You have a secret you keep deep inside you, hidden in the colors of your eyes. Oh, gato negro, please tell me true. Take your midnight stroll beneath the moon. Is there anyone out there that you know of? Somebody looking for someone to love. Is he tall and handsome or sweet and blonde? A businessman, a craftsman, or a singer of songs? Whoever he is he lonely and blue, and looking for someone to hold on to? Oh, black cat, please tell me true. When you take your midnight stroll beneath the moon, is there anyone out there that you know of? Somebody looking for someone to love. As you slip inside his window and purr around his feet, you slip into his heart as you settle there to sleep. Please take him this message. Dear sir, we have not met, but I know you're out there somewhere. May we find each other yet. asleep in the window, soaking up the sun. Another night is over, another day begun. Ooh. La da da, la da da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Another day begun. Got on the road.
Oh, how delightful, Deb.
Nice groove. Good groove.
How different from the first one, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Quite
weird
a
that way.
breadth, quite a breadth of songwriting that you have. Wow, that was great.
Whimsical, wacky, and heartfelt
Wonderful.
songs. That's what I do.
Whimsical, wacky, and wonderful. How's that?
It's wacky and wonderful, or heartfelt. I don't know. I've never been able to label my music. It's really hard. They're like, what genre are you?
Right.
Would you maybe admit to being a jazz folk singer or a folk jazz singer or something, some hybrid of that?
Yeah, but that doesn't cover the country rock songs or the
Well,
the
yeah.
pop songs or the everything, the folk songs or that was folk, the most carefully pronounced word.
You're gonna have to plant your own flag and have your own territory, I guess.
I do.
Well, they were wonderful members. Talk to us a little bit about how you got. I mean, you're very, very practiced, and the stuff you're playing is way above my pay grade. I have no idea what you're doing. It's beautiful and it works totally.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You're singing and it's great, and the lyrics, it's all there.
Thank you.
I got to ask, how did you get to this place? What were some of the early influences, things that you saw and said, wow, that's cool, and influenced you?
Well, I'll tell you, Christine Lavin and Tom Lehrer, but I didn't find out about them until I was an adult. The thing was, I grew up in a very conservative, rather straight-laced family, but except for one thing. My dad played Broadway musicals all over the place, and we had all the records to all the shows. So I like to say I'm influenced by Christine Lavin, Tom Lehrer, Weird Al Yankovic as well, and every Broadway show ever written. I mean, have you noticed in Broadway musicals how they can just sing about anything at the drop of a hat? Like, I don't know, I've got a guitar pick and it's a really good one. It's white and it's thin. I'm gonna make me a good song. Oh yeah, I mean, it's like that. I do this during my live in-person shows. I will have people from the audience throw out 3 words to me and I have to come up with a song on the spot. They don't always work, but it's pretty fun to try. So, I've been playing a long time. I started playing guitar and writing my own songs when I was 10. I started out on the piano, but that was my dad's instrument. We were both only children. So we got along a lot better when we each had our own instruments. Besides, guitar's portable. Pianos are kind of hard. And as I said, even though we did the musicals, I started writing songs to express all the feelings I wasn't allowed to say because we didn't cry in our household and we didn't say no and all that stuff. It was unseemly. So I don't know. I just get bored easily, or else I'm just ADHD. I don't know. And I've studied, and I get bored easily. So I have to learn some new style or some new way. And I don't have a band. I mean, I've had bands, but it's been hard to keep that together.
You're better off solo.
So to make up for all those parts that were missing, I tend to want to use the guitar as a singing partner. I actually teach a workshop at music festivals called How to Make Your Guitar Your Singing Partner instead of just something you're kind of backing yourself up with. Bring it out here and really be with it. But don't worry, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of obsessive sitting down here in my basement blue room.
Well,
moping
you're set up really well visually and obviously
thank you.
very comfortable in this medium. And when you think about it, this is a whole new thing. People don't realize it yet, but everybody has their own TV station.
I love live streaming. If you told me that before the pandemic, I had live streamed once and it was someone else running it. It was just a disaster. And then the first time I did it, it was a disaster on the phone. And I just a quick thing, I had retired from my day job to go do music full-time again, young enough, and I had a whole tour set up for 2020, and well, we know what happened. Like, talk about timing. So it was either sink or swim, and I've discovered I love to live stream. I still miss doing in-person shows, but this has been so much fun because I get to be. We've got people from all over, including Mexico today. I've been making friends in the UK and in Israel and on the coast. I mean, it's been amazing. It really has, Dave.
It's an amazing time. It's huge. The opportunity for change for the better with this medium. It has a lot of power for good as well as for bad.
Yeah,
So
I choose to focus on
we're
the
the good
part.
guys. We're on
Yeah,
the
I
side of
focus.
the good guys. So listen, it's been great having you
Thank
on
you.
the show, and we
Thanks
look
for
forward to
inviting me.
seeing
It's
you
a real
again.
honor.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you again, Deb. That was delightful. And this is a great medium. We got to meet all of you. And now we're going to get Ronnie Stolzberg on the stage. Ronnie is from Warwick, Rhode Island, and that always makes me trip over my tongue. Warwick, Rhode Island. And she also live streams every Sunday. As a matter of fact, she was on before this show, busy woman. And now take it away for us.
Okay. Thanks very much for the opportunity to come back here. I've been here once before. It's tough to follow the colonoscopy song. What was I going to say? Oh, all right. I wrote the song. I've been doing, I know, I was going to say I've been doing a lot of live streaming, and I like what you were talking about how this medium is really taken off, and meeting people from all over the world. I have people who come to my live streams from Norway, Portugal, Switzerland, all different kinds of places. So, and I've met some incredible friends that I would never have met without Zoom. This is a song I wrote just about a year ago. It's a COVID-inspired song. It's called If I Could. I could, I would gather you up and hold you, rock you in my arms the whole night long. If I could, I would lay my head upon your pillow, listen to your breath until the dawn. There would be a price to pay if I go. It's only to protect you from the storm. If I may, I'd like to take a picture of you, hold it near my heart forevermore. 'Cause who can say if the time will ever come for us to be together like the days before? All I know is how I wish that I could touch you, hold you close, and keep you safe from all the things we fear. But the storm is getting closer, it's right outside the door. And everything we've tried to do to keep the rains from coming through doesn't seem to be enough anymore. touch you, hold you close, and keep you safe from all the things we fear. Price to pay if I go. It's only to protect you from the storm.
That was beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Really nice.
Very touching.
Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.
For my second song, this is a fairly new one, and it's about relationships in that no matter how much love there is, sometimes there's just no way to make it right. This is called Cul-De-Sac. Used to live on a cul-de-sac where the only way to get out is back by the same road you came in. It's like a dead end but with a prettier view, and it was oh so lovely living there alone with you. It was a cozy little place, but couldn't be seen. It was covered with vines of the deepest green that we planted together in time. And the space in the attic was a favorite room where we dreamed all night about the things that we longed to do. But at the end of the road, where there's nowhere else to go, going round and around, stuck in an endless flow. The only escape is to turn around, back up the road we started down, a little bit wiser on my own, but I'm not alone. Well, I had to get out of the neighborhood. I stayed much longer than I thought I would, longer than I ever should. But those seeds that we planted grew tall and long, and the emerald vines will remain forever strong. 'Cause at the end of the road, where there's nowhere else to go, we go round and around, stuck in an endless flow. The only escape is to turn around, back up the road we started down, a little bit wiser on my own, but I'm never alone. My heart will remember, but I know I can't go back to that warm little house at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bravo.
It's fun to play with the brushes on back here in the background, and also I just love the whole cul-de-sac image about relationships. That's a new thanks. That's cool.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, good metaphor there. Wow.
Two wonderful songs, Ronnie. Wow, it's so good to have you back on Open Mic America.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for
you
asking
play
me.
with such energy, and your songs have kind of an epic feel to them. It's just like kind of like a wide open country, kind of like a John Ford Western kind of openness to them. I don't know. It's just the way they hit me as being
I
kind
like
of
that
a
image.
wide open spaces feel. They're really, really great tunes, and well
Thank you.
sung and well played. So talk to us a little bit about how you got to be the singer player that you are. What acts or people when you were a young girl that when you started to listen to music, did you say, wow, that's cool, something that really hit you?
Well, I remember the first song the earliest song that I got a transistor radio when I was about 8 years old, and I became a radio junkie. I really wasn't an album collector. I didn't know, I knew all the hits that were on the radio. So when I started playing, most of my repertoire is all classic rock, greatest hits kind of stuff. But the earliest song I remember, this will age me, when I first got my transistor radio, I was hooked on this one song, and it was Judy in Disguise. I just loved the beat of it and everything. And
I could
that
just
was,
hear it totally. I could turn it on in a second. You can't not know that song.
yeah.
strong. It was a
That's
strong
the first
song.
thing that I can remember listening to at 8 years old in my little transistor radio. And I just, my radio was my best friend. I went everywhere with it. Those old, the little white earphone, the little wire with the little single earphone thing, I would run it up inside my shirt and come out my collar and put it in my ear, and my radio's in my back pocket, and I'm walking all around
So
town. with just-
where were you living, and what radio station would that have been?
Oh, I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, on the east side, and I suppose, I don't remember what station, it might have been WPRO. A lot of different stations, changed hands during my lifetime, but it was probably PRO, which is still around, but a different format now. My mother was a singer, and she didn't play any instruments, but she sang, and she sang with a small trio or quartet, depending on how many people happened to be there at the time, in like the lounge of the Holiday Inn Hotel or something like that. And so she was probably my biggest influence, and I have a distinct memory of being a very young elementary school, standing in my cousin's bedroom and saying to her, I'm going to be a singer someday. And I don't know where that came from, but I always remember that.
Wonderful stories, wonderful stories. Well, when you think, well, you've come a long way.
Thank you.
And you certainly, are an accomplished performer with great style and songs unique in their own place. I recommend Ronnie Stolzberg to the world as a
Thanks
number
very
one
much.
act, and we're always glad when you can come back and be on our show. So
Thanks.
thanks so much.
I have a Facebook music page, Ronnie Stolzberg Music, and that's where I do my live stream every Sunday at 3. So I'm always, hoping new and more people will tune in, and it's always a fun. People go in the chat, and some of them have gotten to know each other because they're always in the chat every week, and everyone says hi to everybody, and there's a whole community going on in there. And I lead them to my regular website, which has my song list on it, and say, go look at my song list, pick out a song, make requests, and so they just throw out requests and say, oh, play this, play that.
I want you to check and make sure that the website, see, we have all our performers, past performers, it's stamped in stone. Here's your website link, people can
Yeah,
look
that
you
is
up.
my actual website.
If
but
you would
that's-
send that to me, email that to me, make sure I have that and I can check
Okay,
that for
what you have on there is my regular website where you'll find my song list and everything, but
And it's
find me
all
by my
copacetic?
name.
It's all
What?
copacetic as it is, it's okay?
Yeah,
the
that's
way
fine. That's my regular
Okay,
website
well
where you can
then,
find my
no
song
harm, no
list.
foul.
But find my name right here and add music on the end, Ronnie Stolzberg Music. Find that on Facebook, and that's where I do the live stream on Sundays.
If you ever need any changes needed to how it's presented on our site, send it to me in an email because
Okay,
I can never remember.
sure, I'll do that.
Anyway, thanks so much and look
Thanks
forward to
so much.
seeing you again. Daphne, over to you.
Here I am yakking away on mute here. Thank you, Ronnie. And I was saying maybe put a Facebook button on your website so it would be one-stop shopping from here, right? And what was I going to say? You said someday you will be a singer. Well, today, that day is today, right? I mean, someday is here.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Been a while now.
And now while we're onto websites and links, every performer who is on this show and who has ever been on this show does have, if they sent it in, there is a link to their music online, whatever they sent in. So anybody out there in YouTube land listening, if you want to hear any of these performers again and hear more of them, find their name and click on the link that is on our website, openmicamerica.com. So now we will be going to our next performer, who is from Bedford, Massachusetts, and that would be Neil Dale. Let's get Neil Dale on the stage now. There he is. And Neil told us in the green room that he plays at One Broadway Collaborative, which is now a hybrid performance space where there's both live performers and virtual performers, which is a really interesting kind of concept. And that is in Lawrence, Massachusetts. So now with that, take it away, Dale.
Well, I'm really happy to be here. I find this, it's almost like being in someone's living room. I wish I were that relaxed, but it has that option, and I really like this place. So I'm gonna do two songs. The first one, environmental mostly. There's good news. I'll do the bad news and then the good news. The song's called Methane. I guess it's in honor of COP26. Do you know about methane? I think you might care. Do you know it's building up in the air? And there's corporations that pull it from the ground. And they're piping, pumping, pressing, fracking, drewing, burning, drilling, cracking. Do you know it's leaking all around? 3 million drill holes desecrate our land, and they're oozing methane up through the sand. And each when they finish pumping, they just walk away. Those wells are bubbling, bursting, hissing, leaking, rotting, rusting, flaring, seeping. Somebody's gotta cap them. Guess who will pay? You know that methane heats the earth up to 40 times faster than CO2. And those corporations don't want to let that show. So they're spinning, hyping, scheming, gaming, lying, faking, bribing, blaming. Think of all they're paying just so you won't know. Well, they've labeled methane as natural gas, but it's no more natural than plastic grass. And each mile they pump it, it leaks just a bit. We'll be fleeing, flooding, hoarding, hiding, baking, burning, starving, fighting, all for the money they make from it. Well, the sun keeps shining on everyone, and the wind keeps blowing, it comes from the sun, and they give us power, honest and true. And we'll be running, jumping, working, playing, singing, sharing, laughing, praying. If we pull together, they're gonna see us through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Wow, that goes so well with the poster behind you, Neil.
That's a painting. I did that.
You painted that? Wow. Well, it goes so well with the painting that's behind you. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's kind of what I do. And now this is more like the good news. This is about her. It's called Nature's Dream. The arms of Mother Nature came weaving through my dreams. She pulled me from the turbulence of tumbled braided streams. She took me to the mountain high above the crowded plains, and filled me with a vision of the earth alive again. In Burkina Faso, Africa, there's a man who's planting trees. His mattock swings in rhythm and he plants them on his knees. His fingers hold a landscape that is turning into dust, but his faith is in the ancient ways he holds in sacred trust. Oh, Mother, we've forgotten you, the consequence is clear. We threaten a creation of 400 million years, but your spirit moves among us from heart to beating heart. And each microbe has a purpose, and each person plays a part. We traveled with the sunrise, my feet in inky night, across the rolling ocean in the rosy fingered light. With cod and tuna teeming now where common law protects a third of all the ocean from the trawlers and the nets. The Pacific Ocean rising like a river to the sky, to water coastal forests as the fog goes drifting by, to rise again from redwoods they're no longer cutting down, and fall as blessed rain on California's dying ground. Oh, Mother, we've forgotten you, the consequence is clear. We threaten a creation of 400 million years, but your spirit moves among us from heart to beating heart. And each microbe has a purpose, and each person plays a part. I saw the cities blooming with trees on every street, and each child knew the feeling of the earth beneath their feet. And native plants and insects laid a living carpet down that traveled every highway and cradled every town. The Middle East grew quiet, left the oil in the ground, and took to farming sunlight for the countries all around. And sub-Saharan Africans decided they would stay and tend their flocks and farms in the regenerative way, the regenerative way. we've forgotten you, the consequence is clear. We threaten a creation of 400 million years, but your spirit moves among us from heart to beating heart. And each microbe has a purpose, and each person plays a part. The Australian Aborigines and the Kogi made it through, and the Sami and Lakota and the Yanomama too. Indigenous survivors, their voices growing strong. We're leaders now and thanking you in ritual and song, in ritual and song. Then nature took me higher, and I saw her from afar, and I heard the joyful melody she offers to the stars. She wanted me to feel this, for you to feel it too, and keep her smile inside you, and make her dream come true. Oh, Mother, you created us, your face is coming clear. We are children of the nurture of 400 million years, and your spirit moves among us from heart to caring heart. And each microbe has a purpose, and each person plays a part. Each person plays a part. Each person plays a part.
Wow. That's amazing poetry. That'd be really fun to play box drum or djembe on with you someday.
Yeah, I want some accompaniment on that.
But you have a lot of important things to say, Neil.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes in the way people think happening and need to happen even faster. So,
Right.
Neil, in my opinion, if you were ever put on trial and accused of being a folk singer, you could be convicted in any jury in the United States of America.
Well, that's
There'd
nice.
be no way to avoid conviction.
That's kind of you, Dave.
That's for sure.
As long as they put me in jail with a guitar, I'll be okay.
You could probably play it right through the walls. You know, the walls that eventually just crumble and fall. What an epic that second song. That's a real epic. You know, you just laying it out there. There it is, folks. That was fabulous. And I know you to be one of the stalwarts down there with that one Broadway. With Aaron Tornberg's great show, and folks, that's over in Massachusetts. What's the name of the town that's actually in now, Neil?
It's in Lawrence. It's one of the two towns that really muscled their way into the Industrial Revolution, and it never kind of died, and it never came back. And so it's all these big old mills, and it's a real tough town. But Aaron is kind of, I don't know, I admire him, and I'm glad to be helping him make a place there. It's a good place.
I've played over there a couple times, and you were there
Yeah,
live, and it's like when there weren't many people there, but you were right there chugging, and that's really great. And my hat's off to Aaron, the work he does over there. It's a great thing. And
He has a lot of hip hop bands.
This is a completely new thing, and it's a thing that's not going to go away. This virtual world we're playing in. So
The hybrid
talk to
stuff
us
is-
a little bit about the situation over there. What it's like to go. Are you guys live now?
Well, it's hybrid. Like, yeah, I was there this afternoon with about, me and Aaron and Rick Page were there, and a comedian. And then we had 4 people or 5 people online as well. And that's
Did you play
about
with
7 or 8
masks,
people.
Did you wear masks? How did that work?
No, we didn't. It's a big studio. You know what I mean? Like, I was like
So you
at
got-
least
you
8
got
feet away
space
from
between
everybody.
you.
Yeah, I mean, here in
The
Massachusetts,
spacing is important.
I'm sure that's true. Yeah. We wore them last week. We didn't wear them this week. I think we're all kind of wishing and hoping that we just don't have to worry about it anymore.
But just for contrast, when I think Aaron's last big place was someplace else, when you all were really, had a big show going and a lot of people were coming, paint us a picture. What was it like in the good old days when everything was normal?
There haven't been any good old days at One Broadway. One Broadway we just moved into after the pandemic. Before that,
Aaron had the other outfit.
Oh,
right?
hearing room in Lowell.
Yeah, so what was that like?
I only ever went to the Song Circle there. So, the Song Circle was just the same as it is now, only it's half hybrid. The big parties have been at One Broadway now. These guys, they had 6 bands in there, hip-hop bands, plus their audience. They were really tearing the walls down.
Hip hop, that's the big thing.
Well, it's a lot of Dominican. Yeah, that's the music of the young people in this town.
Okay.
And Aaron's into it, and it's kind of cool because we had a songwriters, 3 songwriters. He likes to do that, and one of them was hip hop, and one of them was rock and roll, and one of them was folk. And it was a very interesting evening because everyone was listening to everybody else, and you couldn't help feeling like the folk person was a little bit livelier, It's just like it kind of gets you.
Sometimes need to be a little livelier.
Well, why not? I think Aaron. So anyway. It was it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to how it develops. I really don't know. It's just starting now as we're emerging from the pandemic. In person there. We'll see what happens.
Well, you've got great songs and you play them well and everything. And I know anybody comes in an open mic and you're playing, they are lucky people indeed. So thanks for joining us and look forward to seeing you again on OMA.
It's a real pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you, Dave. And Daphne too. Thank you.
Back to you, Daphne.
I'm trying to unmute myself. There we go. There's so many buttons to push. Thank you, Neil. And that was a really cool discussion that you guys had. And now we are going to go to Mexico. This is definitely, I think this is definitely a first for us. And we are going to get Suzan Paulette on the stage. And Suzan Paulette has been telling us that, no, by the way, I'm not even trying to pronounce the name of the town. Suzan, can you say that for me?
It's Guanajuato, Mexico.
Guanajuato, Mexico. Okay, now I could say it. And she plays at an open mic series called the International Crossing Borders Open Mic. And they have events on Facebook, right? It's a Facebook event. So I guess if you look that up, you might be able to find it. But tonight she's here with us. So let's not waste any time and take the stage, Suzan.
Thank you. I was so happy to get Dave's email inviting me to join you guys. And I said, I'm living in Mexico. And he said, we don't care. Come on, you're from here. And I said, okay, good. So I'm really happy to be here, and just to tell you a little bit about Guanajuato. It's high up in the mountains in central Mexico, a beautiful city. I've lived here for 4 years, and I absolutely adore my life here. In the United States, I go by Suzan, but in Mexico, I go by Paulette because it's my middle name, and there are so many Suzans and they all look like me. So I decided to go with my second name, and I'm really having fun with that as well. But thank you. I'm going to do my little 2 songs, and the first one is part of the soundtrack of our lives. About empowerment. I remember driving away in that beat-up Cadillac. You were standing on a little front porch, wondering what I had in the luggage rack. You weren't waving or begging me to stay. You had a blank look and empty hands, and I know I'll never pass that way again. Well, it started a long time ago, and all of that. I'm seeing it differently, clear as a matter of fact. and I'm driving just as fast as I can. My fate is in my own hands, and I know I'll never pass this way again. What it might have been, we'll never know, a picture I cannot paint. You said I left you with nothing at all, and you told my friends she's not a saint. Well, you're right, I'm not a saint. A saint might have come and stayed forever and never cared about their fate. I hear those saints don't care about stormy weather. How would I know? I'm not a saint. What it might have been, we'll never know, a picture I cannot paint. You said I left you with nothing at all, when in fact I left you the whole damn bank. But you're right, woo, I'm not a saint. Ow!
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Wow,
Great attitude.
great.
I guess some people might identify with that rhetoric. Thank you. So I was trying to decide what songs I was going to sing, and I thought I'd just sing the last two songs that I wrote. So this is the second to the last song that I wrote. And it's autobiographical not. I mean, we're all influenced by people that we've known in our lives. So I don't want anybody to think that this is a specific person that I'm singing about, because it's really not. It's everybody. It's all of us. Ricky was a kid from school, always thought he was cool. Couple years older, he never noticed me. Blonde hair and fast cars, Ricky was a football star, and he came from the best family. Whole town cheered him on. They love it when their team's number one. And Ricky was one of the favorite sons. All the coaches on the football team counted on Ricky. He was big and mean. And he ended up in the middle of every play. But sometimes it hurts at the bottom of the pile. Get up, shake it off, and try to smile. But I don't think anybody knew the pain that Ricky was going through. They carried him off the field a time or two. He began to fail in school. Nobody knew what to do. They just passed him on. Ricky talked just a little too loud. Everything he said seemed a little too proud. But I don't think anybody knew the pain that Ricky was going through. Well, he married the homecoming queen. They looked so pretty in their homecoming scene, and everybody raved about their happiness. Well, everything was cool for a couple years. Then came the drama and all those tears. In that fateful fight out in the yard, Ricky nearly tore the Queen apart. Ricky's dad, he pulled some strings. Ricky, he went free. The Queen, she just disappeared. Ricky, he stayed in town. I can tell you, man, he went underground. He went to live in his own little cave of sorrow. Now he's living outside of town in a cheap hotel. His teeth hurt all the time. He never feels well. But he takes some comfort in methamphetamine. Oh, if you know what I mean. The whole town cheers them on. They love it when their team's number one. And there were the Rickies and Daryl and Benny and Jerome and Buck. They're all favorite sons.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Such a good story, Susan. Wow.
Well told.
Yes, indeed.
Susan, that was great. That was just great. So you know, I keep getting this jazz, folk jazz kind of vibe. I'm starting to hear more and more of it, and you certainly, it feels to me like you're kind of. How did you get to be the writer and singer that you are? What did you listen to? That's kind of the way it hits me.
Well, that's a good question. I think I'm the best song stealer possible. I mean, I just steal it from other people. Like that last song, quite honestly, I learned a cover song this summer. I learned the Beatles, He's a Real Nowhere Man, right? It's the exact same chords as that song that I just wrote. I just redid them. And I have came up with a different melody, of course, and but stealing songs has always been the best way to
Well, it's not exactly stealing. I couldn't steal a song like that. It just wouldn't work. I think that's pretty cerebral, actually, what you're doing. Yeah, you're re-engineering. And I mean, that doesn't sound like a Beatles song.
Well, I don't mean to
Played,
say,
so.
I don't mean to say I'm a thief or anything, but I
It's a
think
really great song.
we all steal from our environment, from our people that we know, from the characters that we meet in our lives. As far as how I learned music, I grew up in a Southern Baptist church, where my favorite part of the whole thing was the music, and I guess that was really the beginning of it. And then when we finally broke away from that, and I was able to buy my own music and listen to a radio station and dance and do those things, I fell in love with rock and roll, and I fell in love with folk singers, and I love the music of the 60s and the 70s. I'm a big John Prine fan. So I have the same influences as everyone else on this show, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's been wonderful to have you on the show. Of course, I met you a few times around the Artichoke folks and back in Portland. We know each other from there a little bit. We never really talked too much, but every time I heard you play, you know, of course,
Thank
I was
you.
always knocked out. And so here you are on the show, and
Thank you.
certainly you'll be back, and we sure have enjoyed having you. Thanks so much, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take it, Daphne.
Thank you, Susan. And that was delightful. And just knowing that you're playing for us from Mexico was just a lot of fun to know that. Open mic Americas right now, huh? Open mic the Americas, but anyway, now we have only 2 more performers left to go. And our next one is somebody that I met in person just months ago at a festival here in, not here, but where I live in Sacramento. And that is Autumn Sky Hall. We're getting you on the stage, Autumn. And Autumn was telling me where she likes to play. And guess what? I knew about those places, even though COVID happened pretty soon after I moved to Sacramento. And that would be the Tower Brewing in Sacramento, which has started up again, and Old Ironsides. Check those places out if you ever come to visit. And now take it away, Autumn Sky Hall.
Thank you all so much for having me. This song's called LA. The worst thing I ever did was try and get someone who hated me to love me. And the worst thing I ever did was try and sew a thing in a plot I knew was empty. But now I think I understand what it may take to love without sacrificing me. And I'm grateful I don't blink or ever have to think twice about the picture that we've made. And now I'm having the same dream almost every day. Where I'm falling asleep and we wake up in LA. Oh, the best thing I ever done was try and be someone who I knew I could live with. And the best thing I ever did was try to be a friend and let the rest just happen. But now I think I understand what it may take to love without sacrificing me. And so I'm grateful I don't blink or ever have to think twice about the picture that we made. And now I'm having the same dream almost every day. Where I'm falling asleep and we wake up in LA. Can't help the feeling I have been reborn. 'Cause it wasn't love that I was just adored.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did that one, Autumn. That's the one I heard you playing out there in Fremont Park. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. Are we feeling more, do we want a love song or do we want an updated hymnal kind of a thing, an updated hymn?
Does anybody have a request? Unmute and shout it out for Autumn. A love song or a hymn, you said?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the hymn. It sounds cool.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Da-da-da. So I grew up with a lot of church background. My parents were pastors in the Salvation Army, among other places, and I grew up listening to a lot of really super classic hymns, and that's where I learned how to sing, and that's where I learned how to harmonize. And they still kind of get stuck in my head now, although the meaning is different for me. So I kind of like that they are for a purpose to uplift, and I kind of wanted to take that idea and turn it towards the folk music that I was playing myself. So this song is like in general a song to uplift. It's a hymn-like song. But maybe it's for more people than the original kind would be. Do you believe in how it once was, how we were young ones and we were free? Do you still see the good that love does and how it moves us? I still believe, though there were times that I doubted everything. Now those dark days have flown away from me. I'm alright, I'll be fine, 'cause I am bright. And I am better than they ever could have dreamed. I'll be better than they ever could have seen. I'll be better and they'd better believe. And I still believe. 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 Do you believe in how it once was, how we were young ones and we were free?
Oh,
That was cool.
That's lovely.
I'm trying to sing one too.
gorgeous. That's
All
a
the good
hymn,
parts of a hymn.
right? Yes.
Secular gospel.
Yes, this is secular gospel.
That's a great genre. I love that, Mick. That does describe it. Beautiful.
It's great.
A lot of your songs are great, so cerebral. They are just, you just feel like you're entering another dimension when I hear some of the places you take us with the melody and the textures of the words, riding on the melody. Some really, really interesting stuff there.
Thank you so much.
Just amazing. Now, talk to us a little bit about how you got to be the singer-songwriter that you are. Some of the folks that you listened to as a kid and said, wow, that's the stuff.
Well, I was listening to Tracy Chapman and let's see, Elton John and Carole King specifically.
Oh, yeah.
So much when I was a little girl.
Those are some, some strong influences. And how old were you when you first picked up a guitar and decided to sing and play the first time, at your memory?
3, 4 when I was started singing. I just had one of those little microphones, little things that you could carry around when you're a little child. And I would sing songs that I was like helping my parents with, like errands and chores and stuff like that. And my mom would be like, that was good, you should write that down. So she got me writing them when I was really young. And I didn't play an instrument other than violin for a long time. I got my first guitar when I was 14, 15, and like it kind of married from there. I'd just been doing poetry, but it all just kind of happens in a natural way for me. It was never like a forced thing. I never woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna do this thing. It just kind of was already happening. So that's been my experience.
Just love your interesting songs. They're very interesting, very compelling. It's some good stuff. Thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you again, Autumn Hall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Autumn, and I'm glad to see you on this place, and I want to see you again where I live. So I know there's hope for that. I'm going to have to make sure that happens. And now we are going to hear from our last performer. Barrie has been having some trouble all night getting into the session. We were never able to do a sound check. So everybody out there in YouTube land, please be a little bit forgiving here. We're going to just do it very quickly after I spotlight Barrie Dempsey, who is from McMinnville, Oregon. And let me see, let's get you on this stage here. Hang on. And before you actually sing your song, Barrie.
Yes.
Unmute is good. That's a good first step. Can you play and sing and then play a little harmonica, just like 30 seconds or less?
30 seconds or less. Here we go.
Yeah, just let's hear. Okay, so Barrie, just before we continue, can you turn on your original sound? It's not on. Are you able to do that, or are you on a device that doesn't have it?
I'm on a phone and I can hear you.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us hear you. So since you're on the phone, don't do it. I don't think that you can actually do this at all, but I was just trying to check. So what's going to happen, you'll hear yourself in the recording of this on YouTube cutting in and out a little bit with the guitar, and that's probably the reason why. So for everybody out there in YouTube land, we're doing the best we can. Barrie managed to get on, and Barrie, sing your song for us.
Okay, this is a song I wrote. My wife and I went to a open mic in Pennsylvania years ago, and it was during the winter, it was snowing, and the place was closed. So I went home and I wrote this song. This is called Open Mic. So I thought it'd be appropriate to play on Open Mic America. Ready? Pack up my heart, this old guitar. Open mic tonight, and it's not too far. I've got this one song that'll knock them dead. Got the words and the melody going through my head. Open mic gonna make me famous. Open mic gonna make me part-time star. With all my friends on the A-list, ride them all home in my car. Not the only one singing here tonight. I see a lot of friendly faces in this friendly fight. Give me your best song, or maybe not. I like the melody, is that all you got? Open mic gonna make me famous. Open mic gonna make me a part-time star. All my friends on the A-list, ride them all home in my car. We all have one thing in common, running around this city from the song. And when you can do it all again, to find a place where we belong. Give me one more reason to put me through. I hope that people love to hear me sing. Get up tonight and just go do it. Gotta love the attention, it's a crazy thing. Open mic gonna make me famous. Open mic gonna make me a part-time star. With all my friends on the A-list, I'm all home in my car. Oh yeah, ride them all home in my car. Ooh, ride them all home in my car.
How you speak for us all. Oh, that's great.
Be our theme
Song
song.
about
Yeah,
open
theme song,
mic.
totally.
Yeah, bravo. Song about open mics. Perfect.
Cheers.
Great song, great song.
So this one is on my, that song was on my second CD, and that CD is called Line in the Sand. That's out everywhere. I have my own Pandora station. And you can go on my website. It's just myname.com, barriedempsey.com. Barrie is with an IE, not a Y. So this song, we just put out a CD called When We Were Young. And that's on streaming platforms and also on Pandora. And this is called When We Were Young. Oh, when we were young, people were honest and trusting and fun. Oh, when we were young, you could walk down the street with your face in the sun. Oh, our time has come. You know all the years can't be undone. Where can we go see what we found. What we can say is we've lost all the best things around when we were young. Used to love those Saturdays. They always lasted so long. No school for 2 whole days. Couldn't do nothing. Oh, when we were young, and people were honest and trusting and fun. Oh, when we were young, you could walk down the street with your face in the sun. Oh, our time has come. Know all the years can't be undone. Where can we go to see what we found? What we can say is we lost all the best things around when we were Used to talk to my neighbors across a white picket fence. Now the bricks are too high and the words take offense. Ride my bike all through the neighborhood, across the sidewalk and the street, collecting all those sights you could share with the people you need. Oh, when we were young, people were honest and trusting and fun. Oh, when we were young, you could walk down the street with your face in the sun. Oh, our time has come. Know all the years can't be undone. Where can we go to see what we found? What we can say is we've lost all the best things around when we were young. When we were young. When we were young.
Oh, that's so sweet.
When we were young. I think we're all still young, no?
Yep,
I am.
I feel so.
Wow, thank you for that. I'm glad you closed the show for us, Barrie.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I have them figured out, but I decided to just do this on the phone.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so let's see. I bet Dave has some things to ask you.
Okay.
Barrie, those songs are epic songs. Love your stuff. Love the way you play it.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us a little bit about, where were you and the circumstances under which you started to play music in front of people as a young guy. Paint us a picture.
Well, this is a long story that I'll make really short. I've played music all through school, grammar school, even through high school.
Where
I went
was
to
that?
I went to art school in New York City, and I played music all through then. And then I was with bands and playing as a singer and a harmonica player. Then I moved to California, and I was
How
playing
old
with.
were you when you moved to California?
Oh boy, it was right after college, so 1974,
Okay, and where did you move in California?
San Diego. So I played with a few songwriters there, and a couple of duos, and I've been playing ever since. But I think just recently, like 2008, maybe before 2006, 2007, I got back into playing guitar, and that's when I started writing more songs. I was writing pieces of songs, a long time before that. But I started after 2008. I started writing more songs. Now I have about 70 originals, and just trying to get them recorded.
Love your stuff, and the performance is great to see it done live. To me is, and you're going to be in our archives, Open Mic America archives every show. And,
Thank you, appreciate that.
This is not going to be lost, and it's findable, and it's wonderful to see a performer play at that level. I mean, you're playing at a very, very high level.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it. I work at it.
A solo performer doing the whole thing, and plus having the harmonica. There's that too. The whole package is like, this is the real deal, folks.
I play at last night. I played at a winery here. We're in wine country here in Oregon. McMinnville is like right in the middle of wine country. So we played at a wine. I had my wife play tongue drum with me.
All right.
The little kind of bell drum. So that was fun. So I played, and when I go out and do a winery gig, I have a looper. I play acoustic into it, and then I play flute. I play harmonica. I play electric guitar. So it's a whole show.
Well, when you join us again, maybe you can talk your wife into joining with some percussion.
I think so.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Okay. Look forward to that. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Daphne.
And thank you for taking us home, Barrie. And yay. That was wonderful, everybody. And I want to thank everyone who has performed with us tonight. And I'm just naming you as I see you on my screen, not in the order it was performed. Barrie and Mick and Becky and Neil and Suzan and Deborah and Ronnie and Deb and Autumn. You put together a beautiful show and so varied. And for everybody out on YouTube, in YouTube land, remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to everybody's music that has been here tonight and who has been here in the past. And if you like the show, help spread the word of mouth. You can print posters that are available on the website. You could even buy a t-shirt, get it printed out. There's a logo that's kind of hidden in the website in the green room. They're great t-shirts. And we'll be coming to you 3 times a month for now, first, second, and third week of every month. Please check out your local open mics, whether virtual or in person. Our next performance will be in the first Sunday of December, which I believe is December 5th. Stay tuned for the next full lineup. And now we're all going to bid you adieu by waving while the live stream stops. So let's just all